Friend excludes me from his wedding but still expects me to help out with his house and pets, making me question the value of our friendship. For about 11 years now, I've, 37M, been pretty close with, let's call him, John, 38M. We met at a job in my mid-20s and were pretty regular company up until the pandemic, where our hanging out, including a circle of mutual friends, has taken a decline but isn't extinct. John and his partner, let's call her, Jane, 36F, have been together for about 8 years now, engaged for a little under 2 years, both with a child from previous relationships, so they have taken trips with their kids near yearly, and I've been happy to help visit John's, now their, home and check on things, take care of their animals, etc. while they're gone. I've helped them out with other projects/tasks over the years and most recently picked up Jane from the airport returning from a work trip and got her home this past winter during a snowstorm because my vehicle could handle it. Generally, I have been present and helpful on top of our base friendship. About 5 weeks ago, I find out from a mutual friend their wedding is coming up, and invites went out a while ago, everyone in our circle but me invited. As a gay guy, I've experienced being iced out of some of my straight friends' lives and events in ways minor and pronounced, but this one has definitely been something that has had me thinking about my time and energy with people. I decided I would take the hint and begin to distance myself. 3 days ago, John texts me asking if I am around in early to mid-August. I say I am. John asks if I wouldn't mind visiting like I have before to look after the animals and property. I said sorry, I can't. He calls to talk about it. We run through the same conversation, polite but a bit tense, so I finally say I just won't be visiting your home. After a moment of silence, I bring up that I'm disappointed that I appear to be the only person in our group of friends not invited to his wedding, and that I can't be helping like I have before if I'm just a background friend at this point. I wrap up the call positively and sincerely with me wishing them a good wedding and trip, and that maybe we can grab drinks soon. Jane reaches out 2 days ago sending follow-up texts saying John is upset about what I said and with her because she made the final calls about friend invites, and that I am taking this the wrong way, there is only so much capacity and that the others in our friend group have partners that took up space. She adds that she hopes I'll change my mind and help out them out because it would put John's mind at ease. I'm not entitled to the company of others or invitations to anybody's events, but am I wrong for setting my own boundaries in response to theirs? I try not to frame my friendships as transactional, but they obviously want something out of me here despite their not inviting me and then avoiding even bringing it up with me until they needed help with covering their honeymoon. Update 1. Yesterday afternoon, a few days after John made the initiating contact that led to this altercation, he reached out by text telling me the following. I want to take you up on that drink tomorrow if possible, and I want to apologize for my royal fuck-ups in person. I agreed to meet. After we kicked off with a round of shots, John's first line was that he failed me as a friend in this situation. With non-family invites, Jane apparently seemed very preoccupied with a philosophy of couples over singles at the wedding, and he had previously voiced that he felt it was exclusionary and silly, but I guess Jane prioritized couples on the first round of friend invites and told John that it will be easier to fit in others after receiving RSVPs. John backed out and says he felt that going along with her initial plan of inviting the rest of our circle, who are, God bless them, coupled up, and not me, and had faith the RSVP thing would materialize. She ended up using the bit of space to plug in some more family. John admitted he basically folded and felt ashamed enough that he could not find a way to tell me. He knew reaching out to me about that favor was a risk but took it anyways because he wanted someone he could trust, and my response was a materialization of everything he feared would happen, and in his words, deservedly so. He told me a wedding should be a gathering of your family and company who have been a part of your lives and who you want to be part of your lives, and I fit that bill to him by any measure. He, trying to accurately paraphrase, said I've done more than most of the people on the guest list for him and his family over their relationship, including help making memories with trip coverages and helping build their back deck with him to share meals and host events over the last 6 years. He got visibly upset when he said, with the shot and the drinks we were sipping on kicking in, that he can't believe Jane even considered holding my single/dating status against me after I got her home safely during a snowstorm earlier this year, and that he did not more adamantly confront that bullshit reasoning the instant she voiced it. He is even more pissed for Jane reaching out to me in the manner she did after my original phone call with him. John acknowledged it would come off as hollow at this point, but after a few exchanges with Jane said there would be no more nonsense and I would at least get a proper invite and +1 if I wanted, and they would make it work if it was even desired by me at this point. He said he is not going to try to do panic damage control but will be upfront with our circle. One has already dropped the wedding and I guess another couple has said something else, by his reporting, like he was with me for his faults, because he and Jane deserve the blowback and he needs to earn trust back, if it's at all possible. He has also made it Jane's problem to find a friend who can come out 9 days in a row to care for the home and pets. With a smirk, he said she's having a hard time securing it, and may likely have to hire help. I told John the first really appreciated his owning up to this, and it was good to see the friend I had shine through here. I told him that I have always appreciated him and Jane's friendship, so it hurt when I was excluded and not even addressed. I felt that close enough anyways, and I obviously don't mean to complicate his wedding. I've always thought him and Jane were great for each other. Earnestly, I have supported them as best as I can, and I've been confused about what I have done or haven't done to be iced out. I also admitted it's hard to trust Jane again if she has been weighing the validity of my presence based on my relationship status, and added, with some humor, it's not like I haven't been trying and you guys haven't met some of my previous long-term partners. He said he doesn't get it either, and she has at least one good friend who is single that she may have burned a bridge with as well over the wedding philosophy she had. I said the friendship is going to be changed and informed by this, at least very different for a while, and I know that you and Jane had a disagreement leading to this, but that I hope that the wedding goes on to be a good celebration. I informed him it feels best to take a pass on the invitation, but he said if there was a change of mind, up to the last minute, to let him know, which was kind and he wasn't desperate/pushy about it. John said the fault is his for not stepping up on my behalf, that he is sorry, and while he feels, I wouldn't expect otherwise, and I agree, he is very lucky to have her in his life and thinks their marriage is a positive development for them. He even told her this whole situation will have him questioning and second-guessing her judgment on social matters with his friends for the foreseeable future. By his reporting, but a credit to their relationship, was quite a blow to her to hear from him, but one she accepted and apologized for after their arguments about the subject. Before we parted ways in the parking lot, we gave each other a bro hug, and John's voice broke a bit when he said he is sorry one last time, and I think mine did too when I forgave him. It was legitimately surprising and therapeutic to have John be so frank and accountable, but not unlike the friend I've known for most of my adult life. It was bittersweet, being all things considered a makeup but also a breakup of sorts to what was previously an unquestioned and assumed strong trust and camaraderie. Maybe we can get there again. It seems possible, and it'd be nice. I'm sitting here after weeks of big feelings stewing on a different shade of big boy feelings now. Thanks for processing with me, Reddit. A lot of people had good things on the range of the spectrum to share with me, and I've done my best to respond to people without getting too consumed and doing other things that need to be done. I was happy for John to talk with me. Maybe commenters are right and they see me as something else than I thought we were as friends. And maybe I've got some work to do to assert myself, and that I have been a doormat up to this point. I know I've got some soul searching to do about me as a person and how I see myself with John and Jane, and maybe my other friendships as well. This relationship felt a lot closer and authentic in a different time, but it's hard to paint a fuller picture of that after a situation like this. Things change. As tempting as it is to accept the invitation and be there for John, I think I trust my instinct to let this be, and if John meant what he said, and if Jane comes around, they'll make the effort to follow up. I will be putting some distance for a while, and time will tell. I'm glad we got a chance to talk, because if it is the end, I feel good about giving him a chance to own it, and as I've gotten older I appreciate the hard work of taking on uncomfortable stuff. I made some plans for that weekend with a couple other friends which I'm looking forward to. Now next story. Cousin's fiancé insists that I wear contacts instead of glasses for their wedding, threatening to remove me from the bridal party if I don't comply. This will be a bit confusing but I, 19F, cousin, 23F, is getting married in a couple of weeks. I am my cousin's Mo in her wedding. We have grown up together and have been through hell and back together. She is like a big sister I have never had. When I was in 3rd grade I started wearing glasses because I couldn't see far. She was the first person to tell me I looked beautiful in them, because I was insecure about how I looked in them, and that we can match because she wears glasses as well. Well, fast forward to today, I went over to my cousin's and her soon-be wife, 25F, house to talk about last-minute preparation of the wedding and all the fun stuff. When we started talking about pictures of the wedding, and this is where Jordan, my cousin's fiancé, told me that I should take off my glasses for the wedding and wear contacts because she doesn't want them to ruin her wedding photos and that I would look like an outcast. All of attention would be drawn to me if I'm the only one wearing glasses. To say I was shocked was understatement. I always been used to my glasses and I never took them off. I personally don't want to use contacts because it's so much work and I am a forgetful person and might end up sleeping with them on or something like that. I told Jordan that I wouldn't be comfortable with it and that contacts cost money since I have to get them in my prescription, which would take a while, as well as I much rather wear my glasses because I'm more comfortable with them on. She told me I'm being unreasonable and that my cousin is wearing contacts for the wedding, so I should be a good cousin and not ruin the wedding pictures. If not, she will tell my cousin to remove me from the wedding and I can attend as a guest. My heart kinda broke when she said that to me. I know my cousin wouldn't care if I wore my glass, so I'm here asking strangers for advice. Would I be the asshole if I don't wear contacts for my cousin wedding? And should I tell my cousin about this conversation with Jordan? BTW, my cousin wasn't in the room when this conversation happened. She went to buy some food for us. Please help me out, thank you. Smile edit. Hello everyone. I didn't think this post would get as much attention, but I wanted to clear some things up in this one. This seems to be the biggest as I read the comments. Yes, it's for the wedding pictures. I told Jordan, as many of you mentioned, I can just simply take them off for the photos. Sorry for not stating that in the post earlier, but she told me no, that I need to buy and wear contacts or else she would tell me cousin to drop me. She said it would throw everything off if people see me without glasses in the photos and then they see me with them on in the wedding, and it wouldn't look natural too. Some people think it's my cousin telling me this. It's not. She wasn't present when this conversation happened. My cousin also wears glasses and the only reason she not wearing them in her wedding is because Jordan convinced her to buy contacts so she can look more natural for the wedding. 3. This last one, guys, I'm not trying to ruin my cousin relationship. Before this, Jordan was nice with me and my cousin seems deeply in love with her. I could never imagine doing that to my own cousin. Ever since the day when my cousin asked me to be her mo, that's when things started to become a little different between me and Jordan, but I always thought it's because the stress of planning a wedding takes a toll on you. Update 1. This update is to my post if I would I be the asshole if I refuse to wear contacts to my cousin's wedding. Let's get into the very long update. So on Saturday my cousin called me saying she wanted to talk to me about something. I figured that would be a good time to tell her everything that went down with Jordan, so we met at a park next to our grandparents' house, and when I got there she was already waiting for me, but the vibe and energy seemed off. It was tense. I sat down in front of her. No one said a word for like 30 seconds, but it felt like forever. Then my cousin finally spoke with tears running down her face, asking me why I wanted to drop out of the wedding and no longer be her mo. I was completely taken back by what she just told me. I never once said I would drop out of the wedding nor say I no longer wanted to be her mo. As I was processing, she kept asking me questions of, do I not love her? What did she do? Why do I not want to be in the wedding? Why did I miss all of the wedding events her and Jordan planned? Do I no longer value the relationship we have and the stuff we went through? After 5 minutes of calming her down, I explained that I never once said that I'm dropping out of the wedding and that I do love her and value everything we went through. So to explain how close we are, with permission, I want to give you some examples. My cousin was the first person who helped me recover and move on from my toxic/abusive ex I was with for 3 years. She never once left my side, and I was the one who found my cousin after she tried to overdose. I spent every day in that hospital until she got better and was with her through her treatments and therapy sessions. As I was explaining all that to her, I started crying, because why would she think that after everything we've been through? And she told me that Jordan was the one who told her. I said I no longer wanted to be in the wedding, and at all the events they had I always said I was busy. I looked at her confused, cause what events is she talking about? My cousin saw my face and started to realize I did not know what she was talking about. She started talking about a barbecue and a weekend trip to Arizona. The whole wedding party went one last month. I told my cousin I didn't know anything about this and I never got invited to it. I thought Jordan invited you? I never once got an invite or message about any of this. I proceed to show my cousin my message with Jordan in the group chat of the wedding party, and nothing was there about the trip or dropping out of the wedding. My cousin was shocked and started asking more questions like, you didn't tell Jordan you wanted out of the wedding? When was the last time you talked to her? Why didn't you get invited? I explained to my cousin the last time I'd spoken to Jordan is when she told me about the contacts. I explained everything to her about how Jordan said if I don't put contacts she will tell her to kick me out of the wedding. As I stated in my original post, I even showed my cousin the post and she was livid. She started going on and on about how Jordan would stop bothering her about getting contacts for the wedding, and when my cousin would ask her why, Jordan would say it won't match the aesthetic to the wedding and would throw everything off. So finally, after weeks and weeks, she broke and got contacts for the wedding. My cousin looked at me and said I could care fucking less if you wear glasses, it's a part of you. Hell, I would think you look weird and fucking unnatural if don't do it. And the fact she said that to you, out of all people, I'm not gonna stand for that. So after talking about an hour she left and I just sat there shocked after everything was said and done. Later that day around 12 a.m. I received a call from Jordan. At first I was confused because she doesn't call me, but I picked up thinking something happened, but nope, it was her crying and screaming at me because I'm ruining her wedding and I'm being a selfish little bitch. After a minute of that I just hung up. Then 5 minutes later got a text from my cousin to go over their house now. Once I got to house, it was a mess, stuff thrown on the floor, painting broken, dog toys all over the floor, glass everywhere. It looked like a tornado and an earthquake double teamed the house. But anyways, I walked into where my cousin and Jordan are sitting, and Jordan and just crying and screaming. Once she saw me she started yelling at me and calling me every name in the book. My cousin had to tell Jordan to shut the fuck up, and once she did, everything came out in the open. Basically, Jordan doesn't like me and hates that me and my cousin are so close. She been telling lies to my cousin about me to get her to hate me, as well as try to take my cousin from the family so she can have her to herself. To which Jordan yelled out, how the fuck am I supposed to know you don't like her or fuck her? No cousins are that close. To which my cousin said, this ain't fucking Alabama, you crazy bitch. She my cousin, we grew up together, you fucking idiot. She was there when I was dying. Where the fuck was you? Just because you have a fucked family doesn't mean we do. After that the night was blur. I was extremely tired and just wanted to go home. My cousin came with me and she been staying since that night. Jordan had been blowing up my and her phone asking for forgiveness and to give her a second chance and wants to make things right, but I told my cousin if she wants to go through with the wedding it's up to her. Cousin, I know she loves her. They've been together for 4 years now, so I know it can be hard leaving someone you gave your heart to. I'm so sorry for the long update, but that's what's been happening. Thank you to everyone who gave me advice and helped me realize that I wasn't being dramatic or overthinking, and it was more of a deeper issue. If anything else happen I will update again, hopefully not, but we will see again. Thank you for reading and commenting. She should never speak to her again for her own safety. Mental Woodpecker 300. This right here. Jordan destroying the house on a rampage is a huge red flag and shouldn't be overlooked. People like that don't usually stick to just objects. She could end up getting violent with Op's cousin. Oop, good morning. Jordan was the one throwing the things and made the mess in the house when my cousin tried to leave. That's why my cousin called me to come over in case it got to a point where she couldn't calm her down after everything came out. Anything we said, Jordan got more irritated, so that's why I took my cousin to my place and she has been staying with me.